Now I invite us to imagine that we are seated in the Alumni Memorial Fieldhouse on October 26, 1967. 1967 was a troubled time in America and the world, and also a signal one in terms of popular culture and American interests. The President of the United States was Lyndon B. Johnson, LBJ, who had signed the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1964 3 years earlier, outlawing discrimination in voter registration, schools, employment, and public accommodations. In the long, hot summer of riots rages in 159 cities across the country. Issues of racial and economic injustice, along with protests against the war in Vietnam, have raised tensions in America to a boiling point. Dr. King is assessing all this and trying to make sense of it. He gives his speech in St. Joe's within that context.
It took real courage for the students of St. Joseph's College and for the administration who supported them to bring Dr. King to campus.
The speech itself had a real impact because well, you heard it. It's a ongoing history lesson of what the civil rights movement had been and what successes and struggles there were up to that point and how far the civil rights efforts still had to go. And we thought he'd bring a special message to the college beyond our expectations.
This today was just unbelievable. Just the thought of Dr. King being here 50 years ago is just kind of overwhelming because it's like he was here and I go here.
And this is at a time when Dr. King had linked war and racism and poverty in a system of injustice, and that's what he spoke about here. The fact that we experienced the speech by members of our community helped to reinforce that legacy and his message and his lessons didn't end in 1967, that they still are incredibly relevant today.